Retard.
2.5 minutes.
My new one's gonna be spaz because I still have zero clue how that's offensive. Yeah,
I know.
like
I'm spazzing out right now. My leg's shaking.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. The coffee's starting to hit.
Nice. Did you put any Javi Javi in there?
There is no hobby jobby in this Texas cup.
I see your hand shaking.
That's like a Valero Club.
he's just like
This
yeah,
is
no, I'm good, bro.
great.
He's like there's pure red wave right there.
My adrenaline's going, boys.
Fucking high.
How come the rest of why are you guys not representing? Come on.
I totally forgot.
I don't know where mine is. I think like so the cleaning lady like
She liked it.
yeah, like so I've had so many good cups that I leave at the office.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I had this Yeti cup for a while, and I love those like Yeti coffee cups because it keeps the coffee warm for a lot
Yeah,
longer.
they're amazing.
And poof, about
God.
3 years ago, I'm like,
My
I got another one, and I was like, I'm just gonna stop by. I'm thinking about like all the breaths now, but no, I got another one, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna spend $30 on these coffee cups anymore.
They're only 30. Where do you get them from?
Yeah.
Yetis are usually in the 3-digit.
It's
No,
Yoda
the
now,
cups.
Oh, the regular.
Aren't they Yodas?
You know,
now?
they're just a
I
coffee.
just imagine you bringing a nice chest of coffee to work.
No,
As hard as you work.
not the coolers. I have so almost every cooler I own, I've won in a raffle.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
I'll buy one.
You're gonna
Turn
make
a
some
profit.
Well, yeah, I like so one
He's
of
a
the raffles.
flipper.
Yeah, one of the raffles I got the roadie.
Yeah.
I love that cooler because it's like
Is that the wheels?
no, it's just
all
not
carry.
it's not that big, so it's like even if you fill it all the way up, it's not going to kill you to carry, right? And then I have the one that's a little bit bigger, and that one, if you fill it all the way up, it is kind of like you almost want some wheels.
Yeah. For sure.
But I won both those in a raffle.
I want wheels on everything. I'm at that age. If they don't got wheels, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Dude, I will not do anything on the beach without those big ass.
The
huge-
stand
yeah,
wheels.
Oh man, like it is brutal. Like if you have to so we went to Destin and where we stayed was just a block away from the beach. And the first day I brought the roadie, right? And I thought it would be a good idea. And we had a cart, but the cart wheels were like only this big. And it was great bringing it to the gate of the beach. Oh man, that was the worst 20 minutes of my life. I was like, oh my god, I'm never doing this again.
He's like two-handing that thing. It's like,
You know what's severely overrated? I'm not trying to be crude here, but sex on the beach. It's a terrible experience. It's never good.
I will take your word for it. because
Don't do it.
Yeah.
If you ever have an instance where someone's like, well, your wife is like,
Yeah.
I want to be
Have
romantic.
you ever have it? I will refrain it.
Kristen me on the beach,
like,
baby.
Seeing
I
how
wanna
I
be
have been married
romantic.
for
No, you
fucking
don't.
13 years, I don't
Like,
think I'm
Gary told me this terrible experience. I don't want to try it.
Just go grab the 180 grit out of your toolbox and test the waters
Well,
before you do it.
I mean,
Sand, bugs.
my wife and I love each other a whole lot, but I'm pretty sure she can resist this until we get back to
Right.
the room.
Yeah.
You know, don't think I'm gonna be March safe from sex on the beach.
She's like, John, turn the lights off. I can't.
Oh, he's leaving his boxers on. Can you at least take off both socks?
Oh, that's awesome.
How did you do that? You took us a path we should not have gone.
It's ADD, man. It's a superpower.
Hey, I'm just glad he's not like. So here's the conspiracy about last night.
Oh, I'm gonna wait about a year. I'm
Thank
gonna wait
you.
about a year. Okay. Until TikTok starts changing some things.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
get banned. First show.
Trump's gonna buy it.
Trump's
Government
Truth Social.
subsidized TikTok.
Hey, that's what we need to get on. We need to get on Truth Social.
Oh, dude, I've been all about True Social since COVID.
I
Yeah.
haven't messed with it at all.
John doesn't know the truth.
Does anybody?
No.
Yeah.
So Mike mentioned something really, really funny coming in here. Mike, you were talking about that you think there are going or is going to be some ramifications or things happening to try and stop the results from last night.
I would put $100 on the table saying they're going to try everything they possibly can.
I'll double that.
I mean,
I'll take both y'all's bets.
yeah. They're not going to try anything. They're just going to go gently to the
Not that
line.
they'll succeed, but that they'll
yeah, I mean, like, so if it wasn't such a lopsided, I mean, like, it's not even like, oh wow, he won the popular vote by like a couple 100,000. It's like, I mean, he's up by 7 million votes. I just don't see them contesting that. I feel like what would be more likely is like, okay, cool, he has all these felonies, let's throw him in jail now. You know?
Well, I mean, that would be them trying something.
Yeah, but
That's true.
I mean, I don't think it's like the recounting. I don't think they're going to contest the election results.
I'll play.
I pray they don't contest the election results, but I'll take the
No,
bet.
I guarantee you, they'll recount, they'll contest.
I'm really hoping that they say it was rigged. Just
Restoration.
because of everyone that said it
I
was rigged
don't,
last
man.
election.
I don't because it's just there's just so much speculation already on it. Man, and we have to in order to have just a decent running society, we have to have some confidence in our elections.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
There's
And so
already
it's like
a lot
I'm
of
really, I don't want, and I wasn't happy. Just so we're clear, like when everybody, people are trying to give me a petition to sign last time, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking signing. Like I even if it was rigged, I don't want to fucking know. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. Like
I'm
I
on the
want.
other side of camp. I want to know. Like I saw that
Well-
California was legalizing, was proposing bills to allow legal immigrants to vote as long as they identify as a U.S. citizen. That's an actual thing. Like within the past year, that they were actually proposing bills to allow that to
That
happen.
makes no difference. I mean, they called California, and like 1 minute after the polls closed, no, we're calling California. So it
I'll
makes no
play
difference.
devil's advocate here and just say that for how short of time she campaigned, she did fairly decent.
She had a great debate.
She did.
She had a great debate.
And that's me playing devil's advocate, not because I don't
God,
condone her actions.
I honestly think that there's a lot of people like me that are fairly independent, right?
Me too.
And I do feel like that's the bulk of maybe not East Coast, West Coast, but the bulk of us here.
Moderate.
Yeah. Or like, hey, I don't care if you put an R or D behind your name, but I was not happy with what happened over the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And then you couple that with I didn't even get a choice. You just ran at least
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe or whatever you want to call him. At least Joe was the elected president. That, you know what I mean? Like, and then you just ram this person down my throat that I have no idea. I know she was supposed to be in charge of a border that she did nothing about. You know what I mean? And that's about all I really know about her 100 days ago. You know.
Mhm.
And
you're
the
just like-
viewers were in Texas.
And
so.
I watched her in the primary or in the primaries in 2019 or whatever, 2018, 2019, when she was
She
trying
got smoked. Yeah.
and she was not likable then, right? And so it's just like you ram this down my throat. She hasn't actually been elected to anything,
She didn't even show
and
up.
you're just like, okay, well, there's several problems here, right? Like I don't really know what you're really standing for, and then all I'm hearing is we're gonna keep going with this current like idea of Bidenomics and all this other stuff, and
Socialism.
you're just like, but it's
It's not going
Honestly,
well.
it's
felt-
crushing the middle class.
I-
You're like I don't like how that's going. So, in the lack of information, I'm going to always choose what I think is the best. Right?
She personified and just so eloquently
Said nothing?
represented socialist ideologies by getting paid and not showing up, by getting paid and essentially doing nothing. That's basically what the premise of socialism. You get taken care of, you get your government, your taxpayers pay for everything you do without having to do anything. And it's just sad that, we just accepted that. We have a whole generation of kids that don't want to work. They're depressed. They're depressed. They're hopeless. They feel like, well, I don't have a skill. I can't be this influencer. I can't get 1 million likes. So what am I going to do? I need someone to pay my bills. The government's offering to do it. Why wouldn't I take that?
I hate that idea though because it's
Me
just
too,
Like, people
yeah.
are like, man, there's Uber Eats. Somebody dropped Ryan Uber Eats on a bicycle the other day.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like, man, if somebody on a bicycle drops some food off to me, I'm like, dude, here's $50. Like, that was awesome.
There's a guy on TikTok and Instagram that I follow. He delivers Uber Eats on an electric scooter,
Yeah.
and he does well.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, like there's ways, like nowadays, it's like, okay, I can't stand the idea that like, hey, well, I'm not going to work, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and now we live in a society and generation too where everybody's getting creative with their financing and having multiple streams of income, whether it's coming from social, affiliate marketing, W-2 positions, contracted work. Like everybody has at least 2 to 3 sources of income.
It's another way of diversification. It's a modern day diversification strategy, and everybody needs to have that.
Right.
well, and even as like when I grew up, I watched my dad work like three different jobs. I mean, he worked for the U.S. courts, but he also moonlighted over here, like doing a class or 2 a month.
Yeah.
Right.
Got paid some money doing that. Then he would go. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
The-
when you do have, I guess he did have, licenses and certifications, so it's a little easier
Yeah.
to do that. But
That was his version of a podcast.
But
Yeah.
well, when he's
It's so much easier now.
But he
You
always
just-
he always did that. Like
Yeah.
and even now, it's like that's kind of what he does now. Is he retired and
He need to retire.
he hasn't retired. Yeah, no, but he's constantly doing different things, and it's like, okay, cool, I'll do that, and that's
Yeah.
It's a mindset thing, and we have
Yeah.
a mindset problem in this country. That's what it is, man. The
Well-
next generation's just so like
When you're promised
dopamine overload.
free stuff, I mean, the government feeding you, hey, this will be free.
Yeah, but
You develop a society of
I just think that the
Mooches.
Yeah.
they're just laziness, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, and I'm not saying I'm not lazy sometimes, but it's like, man, there's some days where it's like, man, I know that I got to work. I got to roll up my sleeves,
Yeah.
and like, my work is completely different than it used to be, right? Like, when I rolled up my sleeves, I literally rolled up my sleeves. But like now, it's like cool. Like I got to make 100 calls this week. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. And I think that. Is it fun to do that? No, and it's like, do you get told F off? Yes, you get told. It's like it's just
I think everybody's scared of that rejection nowadays.
For sure.
Right? Like everybody has an anxiety of being rejected in whatever it is that you're going to do.
Actual panic.
if you want to be in sales, embrace the no.
Embrace the suck, man. Embrace it, man.
Just suck.
The power of no is life changing.
Fail fast.
They say psychologically, when in sales, you have to go after the no first, because once you actually get the no from that person, they immediately feel sick. That's actually what Chris
Right.
Voss says. So you actually identify the no, and then you keep getting those no's. And once you actually be comfortable with that strategy, the sky's the limit, man. Anybody could be a millionaire on their way to doing that, as long as you embrace the rejection, the no's, and then be comfortable. And then become a human
Right.
being. Let's have a conversation. All right, I understand where your pain points are.
No.
Well, not yet.
But a
Well,
lot
tell
of,
me why.
but a lot of the anxiety.
Am I not reaching into your soul?
Okay, there you go. But a lot of our issues actually stem and start with our health.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of the
100%.
younger generation,
Sleep.
they're so much crap in our food nowadays.
Mhm.
They lack sleep because they're constantly on their phones. They get that dopamine, keeps them awake at night.
The blue light.
The blue light, like there's.
Did you
just,
see about what they're saying about fluoride now?
I know.
NIH is like backtracking on studies that were peer-reviewed studies that were done on fluoride. Apparently,
They wanna
they're
remove it.
slanted. And
Fluoride's really bad for you.
yeah, and
They
that's
put it in our water in San Antonio about 2 decades.
I remember that in it was 1999, 2000.
Yeah, they put it in our water.
And
about
people
2
were
decades.
like, "Oh no, that's a conspiracy theory. It's crazy. Blah blah blah. There's all these peer-reviewed studies. Oh, okay. Well, there's peer-reviewed study. I can trust it." And now it's all coming
Yeah.
back. Whoops. These guys were lobbied.
Trust the science.
Trust the science.
But it's also crazy to think too, like some of the guys and girls or women, men and women in the political scape nowadays, we watched when we were younger. Our parents voted for these people.
Mhm.
And it's just so crazy how you can become a career politician, get so rich from doing it,
Term limits.
but
Dude,
only make
amen,
so,
brother.
make so
It's
much.
like term like so.
Well, speaking of term limits, that was one of the propositions that we voted on for here in San Antonio that got approved. So Proposition F actually extended the limits that City Council can set. So now it goes from being two-year terms for mayor to being 2 4-year terms. So now our mayor could actually serve 8 years
That's fine.
as mayor.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
2 terms.
So
I mean, if
Well-
we're talking about term limits, though.
Here. If you can't get something done in a decade, get the hell out of here. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, I was kind of like, in 10, right? Like, like I feel.
I know. I held my nose checking that box.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Get
just
out.
like,
You've been here long
you've
enough.
been here long enough, and it's just like. But then you look at the other box, and you're like, like,
Yeah.
man. but
But could there have been
Like,
somebody another
yeah, if you're like,
quality
hey,
choice?
you got two terms. That's 12 years. If you can't do it in a dozen years, like,
Yeah.
go start a glass cleaning business. I don't know what to tell you, but like, don't.
All right. Here's my point. So as a mortgage guy, I'm highly regulated. I can't give a realtor anything for inducement of business. But these guys come in broke. They leave millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Bothers me.
Why don't they apply some of the same rules to themselves that they do to everybody else?
It's also interesting how like they're really good at stock trades.
They are.
Like,
They pick
I
winners
don't
like-
understand how they're so good. I mean, I'm not talking about one side or the other.
Yeah.
They
We're
all
talking
do.
about both sides of the aisle. Those guys are really good at stock trades, and you're like, wow, that's kind of messed up. Like, you outperform every hedge fund. Weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and what was your degree in? English?
English degree.
You got an English degree, and
My
then you
stockbroker is excellent.
Pelosi's
Husband
Pelosi
is
tracker.
great.
Yeah.
Woo.
Dude, she is
Dude, she
10,000%
killing
when
it,
she started.
killing it,
Mhm.
and you're just kind of like, wow, that's.
Where
That's
is
really-
she nowadays? She's not even in the house.
The fucking Hamptons.
But it's not, and it's not just her. If you go down like everybody in the House, everybody in the Senate, and you sort of look like, why is that allowed? Like, why don't they? Hey, we're not saying don't invest. It's just you have to put your money in the index funds, and you don't mess with the stocks because you are the definition of insider trading at this point.
Exactly.
And it's just like, but you're the police of the insider trading, so you're not going to police yourselves. It is bam. You're
These
like,
are the same people that represent our vote when it comes to going to war. And then they have stocks with Lockheed, Raytheon, the next upcoming tech or war machine company, and they're just throwing money at it. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, we're going to have to go to war to defend this country. And then their stocks just boom. It's mind-boggling that we still haven't actually got a hold of that yet.
Well, I just think like, hey, I have no problem with them investing, right? Like, but I have a huge problem with them buying individual stocks while they're
Voting.
while they're voting for stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like same thing with, and we can probably cut some of this out. But
It's a new era. We're good.
Let it roll.
well,
It's
but
in the
like
cloud.
what would Rick Perry, the old
Oh, Governor.
yeah,
Yeah.
that motherfucker made so much money on mandating the HPV vaccine.
Mhm.
And it's so frustrating, and I don't. It's just frustrating. You're
Don't
like,
get me started on the FDA.
oh yeah,
Seriously, yeah. There was no oversight on that at all. Kids were getting, like my wife when she was a teenager, she said she got the HPV vaccine, and the same doctor said, "Oops, we forgot to enter it. Now we have to give it to you again." What?
No.
What? You were there. You shot me up.
That's not how
Yeah.
any of this works.
well, you're not that's nuts. But it's like you got millions and millions of dollars on legislating that you have to have it to go to school, and you're just like, what there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a good friend of mine, Commander Clayton, is a Navy reservist, is a pilot, flies for FedEx. And we had a conversation last night. He was saying, you know, because I was kind of like, I was attacking these companies when we were having the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, these Pfizers, these, you know, Raytheons, blah, 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 blah. They should have better morals, whatever. He said, I mean, no, they have shareholders. And what is their job to do?
Make money.
Make money, exactly. You know what? Who's supposed to protect us? And I said, you're right.
Elected officials.
The government. The government's supposed to protect. They're supposed to be that meat shield, if you will, proverbial meat shield to protect us from these companies, the Boeings and all that stuff, to make sure there's enough compliance.
Yeah.
There's, you know, that money is not coming back into the system, that they don't get out of politics and then go be part of, you know, you have doctors that go from Pfizer to the FDA, and then back to, you know, Pfizer, Moderna, yada yada yada. There needs to be something like some sort of stop gap in place to prevent this kind of just jumping back and forth and just feeding each other's pockets. It's a mafia at this point.
Yeah, well, and so I've always said that I'm fine with common sense, not maybe not common sense, but I'm fine with certain regulation,
Yeah.
right? Like, because regulation has always, good regulation has always helped grow our economy,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of stupid regulation that hinders the growth, right? But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's certain things where it's like, okay, that all that, just, you can trim the fat over there. That's like over regulated.
It is.
But there's none over here. It's like the Wild West.
It is.
And you're just like,
I just want to know how we ended up with so much crap in our food. Like, I've seen a comparison
Making
chart
money.
of like McDonald's, for example, of the ingredients used in the McDonald's French fries versus the ingredients used in McDonald's French fries in Europe. And I think ours has like 11 ingredients. Theirs has like 2.
yeah, but ours are delicious, bro. Like when they're hot.
I mean, if you like eating herpes medicine, then yeah, go for it. But
You know, our food is
You're
turned
talking to the
into-
wrong person. Because if it tastes like that,
if it tastes good, I'm gonna.
Our
eat
food
it.
has turned it as replicated the cocaine trade in the 1990s. You know, now our food is turned in from, we had high quality gray Coke.
Yeah.
Now we got crack cocaine, right? Like they've baking soda'd our food, and they've cut it up. They add a couple things. Now we barely need that much meat. No diddy. And and it's just, it's all for profit. It's all for profit, and you know we
Yeah.
just have to have the mindset enough to protect our kids and be aware of it. And
Well, it's like all the dyes, right? Like red dye 40, blue,
dude, as a
30, whatever it is.
I thought that was bullshit. My wife showed me a video, and then we it sounds weird saying experimented with the kids, but we were already giving them Red 40, right? But then we tried it, and we were like, all right, we're gonna stop giving her this oatmeal that has like Red 40 in it for X amount of time, and the morning outburst stopped. You know, the mean shit. You know, now when she has candy, my oldest daughter's a troll, just like me. And so we go to like, dude, it's crazy. She
Call my
sits-
daughter a troll.
Dude,
I know,
I'm
she's
not.
like-
It's crazy. She sits behind me, and we go to like a little birthday. We went to like a little realtor event, and it was a neighborhood event. Someone gives her candy. We didn't see it, and she's like, and it was a friend of mine. He just didn't know any better, and so she's like eating the sucker, and we're like, all right, well, we don't want to be rude, so just let her finish. So we get in the car. Obviously, this one probably has like Red 40 and a lot of sugar. Get in the car, driving home, and she just starts chirping me. She just gets mean on Red 40. She's like, she's like, Dad, last time you did karaoke, you went outside of the garage and you peed. And that's not cool. And I said I was going to tell Mom, Dad peed outside of the garage. Is that okay? Can I pee by the garage? Where is this coming from? Like, where? It's the whole thing. But no, it's just a small example of just, you know, it's crazy to see their little sensitive minds, you know,
Yeah.
just kind of like be so hypersensitive to things, man. And then we're like, oh, our kid's, you know, losing his mind. Let's give him some Adderall. Now he's good.
Well, and I feel like that's part of the reason why we have that stuff in there, because they know that it causes
It's a
behavioral
cycle.
issues.
Yep.
So it feeds back to Big Pharma.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Every time.
hey, he's having behavioral issues. Oh, well, he's ADHD.
I'm gonna part with you guys on this. Like, I don't.
John's like, I love Red 40.
Yeah, I mean, like you. It's like, hey, if you don't want to give your kid the Red 40 and the candy, don't do it. But it's like,
Yeah.
man, I every now and then like to binge on some freaking sweet tarts.
Absolutely. I feel you.
I can't do it very often.
I mean, those
because,
Halloween-
you know.
But
Well, that's why you play
choose as
pickleball.
adults, and you can choose to eat crap if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like, do I know that like eating like those chewy sweet tarts? I'm not joking. The little ones.
Oh, they're delicious.
Oh my god! And like, I feel awful. Like it's like
So
it
bad.
probably jacks my sugar up to like 300 points, and I'm probably gonna go crash later. Which I'm not diabetic, but like,
You will be.
if I keep doing it, I will be. but,
will be.
but like, I love like probably once every month or two, I'll get a bag of it and just slam it one night, and I'm like, well, that was awful. Like I'm gonna feel really, really bad tomorrow, and I do. And it's like, wow, I don't think I'm gonna eat that again for a
I love
while.
gummy candy,
Yeah.
man. It's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
My fat boy shame right now, since we're in November. I'm gonna just throw it out there. My fat boy shame right now in November is tamales. Like I probably ate like
there's
half
nothing,
a dozen.
There's nothing bad about those.
Homemade
half a
tortillas.
dozen tamales.
Tamales.
I was stress eating last night watching the debate, and my wife
Bring me
was
some
like,
tamales.
"How many tamales have you eaten?" I go, "I don't know, but I think we're going to the South Side tomorrow to get
Yeah.
more."
Dude, you know which place I absolutely love?
Delicious tamales.
No,
don't know.
Delia's. Delia's. Oh man.
We go to La Grande.
You need to go. You need to go soon because they have definitely gotten themselves in a lot of hot water.
For what?
For
Tax evasion.
Illegal employees.
so and not,
Abuelas
and not,
back
and
there.
not just illegal employees, they were also stealing. So they weren't paying obviously the taxes, and they were keeping the taxes, and they weren't paying them overtime. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that
Right.
was like, wow, that's like almost
Wild
like
West
modern day slavery.
Yeah.
Like, that's really messed up. But their tamales are amazing. I mean, they really are really good. There's one right off 1604, right before 16 on what is that?
604 and 281.
No, so, way out, like when you're heading towards
Way west.
Bandera Highway.
Yeah.
It's right the exit before that. I can't remember, but it's so. If you haven't had some, go before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because between Thanksgiving and Christmas,
The lines on they're on the
I mean, but they are. I'm not a huge tamale fan, but those are my favorite tamales.
Do you like pork, chicken, or bean?
I love them all.
Yeah.
Like,
bean tamale. It's not a
and
tamale.
they,
The bean and cheese tamales.
And they have some green sauce. It's a little spicy.
Yeah. Big, yeah.
I think pork's the best.
You know what we need for
Big
the
green
tamales?
sauce guy.
We need some of that chupacabra sauce, or we need some of the
Chupacabra sauce is a cool name for a sauce.
delicious chupacabra. It's amazing.
They have some great marinades.
But we need-
some great seasonings.
I'm getting hungry.
We need some of that super hot.
I love breakfast food, man. I'm obsessed with breakfast food. Oh, actually, funny story. Yesterday, my daughter, she wakes up early. I know. She wakes up early, and I'm getting my coffee. I'm about to get going. I gotta go grab some my keys from the room, whatever. And my wife's like, "Hey, have you ever had breakfast pizza? Do you want that? I saw it on Pinterest." And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" She's like, "It's got like country gravy. It's got breakfast sausage." And I'm walking away. I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And my daughter, my 4-year-old, she's like walking behind me, and all I hear her say is, "Breakfast sausage is my love language." It's like, that's my girl. Me too, baby. Me too.
I mean, and that would explain why San Antonio is the way it is.
We're spoiled, dude. We got some great food in San Antonio, man.
So when we moved to Washington, I was in culture shock because things just weren't right. Mushrooms and the fajitas or the enchiladas, which
That sounds pretty good.
Try
It's just
it.
not.
no, we need to go back to John's segment. That ain't right.
Yeah.
But they call like tacos burritos, like it's all backwards. You know, you don't even get tacos up there. Like it's just a burrito. Like you want a 2-pound burrito, a 5-pound burrito.
No wonder they're so angry and burning down their cities.
Oh yeah.
They have Baja
They need
Fresh
some
up there.
taco.
Just get them some homemade tortillas.
I think
man.
they did on the West Coast, but not on the East side.
There's some good stuff. Baja
The Baja Fresh is good. I think the closest thing we had to like Mexican food was a place called Costa Vida and Chipotle.
Chipotle.
That was our Mexican food up there.
It's mind blowing when Chipotle is the best Mexican food around. I like Chipotle.
I love
mean,
Chipotle.
like,
It's actually pretty healthy. It's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's like, wow, that's the best you got.
What did you think about their serving sizes when they were? That was like the main controversy. Did you see that? So a bunch of TikTokers were going in recording Chipotle because they started skimping on their serving sizes, and then I guess Chipotle eventually had to like start putting back in the proper serving sizes because they were like skimping. Like the burritos were super flat. There wasn't a whole bunch of meat in them. And when I go to Chipotle, I just want a bunch of white rice, cilantro white rice, the pinto beans, and just pile some chicken on there with that red salsa, some cheese.
Carnitas, bro.
Carnitas, yeah, that's.
Their carnitas are good. Too.
I like to crush chips on it and then sprinkle queso on top of that.
Their white queso is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you crush chips on it?
Because it gives you a little crunch.
But it's a burrito.
I know. No, the bowl. I'm sorry.
Oh, the ball.
Actually, I've done it in the burrito as well.
That ain't right.
You Tom Brady getting in there.
Some people,
Yeah.
some
You get
people,
vegan.
some
You get
people
the
when they make a
vegan.
sandwich at home
Yeah, and
will put
that,
the chips on the.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did
that
that.
ain't right.
Nothing
Just
like
not
it after the
right.
pool,
The-
a pool day.
The
ham and
Rusty
cheese
Taco
with some
does that.
Cheetos in there.
What does?
The Rusty Taco, they put chips in their bowls.
Yeah.
Crunch.
Mike
Little
and I,
tortilla chip.
Mike and I are Team Torchy.
Mike and I.
Team Torchy.
I'm a big Torchy guy for sure.
I know.
I've
Tacos and
never been.
queso for
Really,
president.
dude? Dude,
Yeah,
it's
so I have
don't sleep
several
on Torchy's.
Torchy's Tacos yard signs in my yard right
Yeah.
now. Because it was I'm not joking.
yeah. I drove by. I actually
Yeah.
accidentally voted for Torchy.
Tacos Queso 2024, and I almost wrote it in yesterday.
Did you see how many votes RFK got yesterday?
Yeah, he got a
He
ton.
got like 8K in a matter of
Oh, no.
10 minutes in Michigan, I think it was. It was nuts. Even the analysis were like, "What the heck, people? Why are you voting for
Because they don't like
somebody
it. They don't like
who's
their
already-
options. They both suck.
who's already said that they don't want to be the president?"
Mhm.
I thought it was crazy. I'm super excited to see where we go in the next 4 years. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully he does good things for the real estate market. Crypto actually last night started reacting pretty funky to it though too.
In a good way.
In a good way.
I didn't check.
SHIB was up. SHIB and a bunch of like the crap altcoins were up like 200%.
I have like 180 trillion shit that I bought for $2.
You're probably a millionaire right now.
You probably are if you bought that many.
If you,
Yeah, because I think
Yeah,
I think
check.
crypto's happy because they're less regulation because they're worried about getting shut down.
Oh wow.
So
It was nice knowing you guys.
Oh, man, he's. I gotta
Mike's
go.
like,
let me see what he got.
There will be signs.
He's got like $10.
It's up to 10
he's
bucks
just
now.
leaving the bike.
I just 5X
from 2 to
mine.
8
It's
bucks.
like,
I 10x my $2.
Cashing out.
I'm going to Chipotle.
So,
and I'm gonna get a soda with it.
Put some guac on that.
I'm getting the
Bougie
meal.
tea.
damn it.
Cranberry lavender tea.
So I got into crypto back in 2016 when it
17 for myself.
when it started first becoming a thing. We got really big into trading, so we were on a platform called Bittrex. I don't know if any of you guys know what Bittrex was.
Yes.
Sounds like a bad word.
Bittrex. It was a pretty bad word. They got
Deregulated.
deregulated and shut down. But anyway, my fame was that we had identified a coin called SafeX. It was an altcoin, and it was basically designed to be like the altcoin or the coin to be used on like the Alibaba of crypto exchanges and websites. Like they were going to create this unregulated market where you could sell and trade stuff, and it was a cool concept. Well, we bought like 7.5 million coins for like
$300.
1,000th of a Satoshi. Like it was
It's so far out there.
it was way out there. And anyway, Bittrex, it ran all the way to a quarter. Like it ran to a quarter. And before we could cash out, Bittrex delisted it and labeled it as a security paying dividends.
That's crazy.
So I'm probably like a millionaire right now because all that SafeX is just in an offline wallet.
You just can't get
Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
buy the
fucked.
offline wallet? Or
You can't
No,
sell
I
it.
have the offline wallet, but you can't sell it.
you can't
There's
transfer
no-
it to Coinbase?
No, Coinbase doesn't.
Yeah, once
Once it's delisted.
It's basically a shit coin now.
Yeah.
I should have sold at 10 cents.
I got news for you. They're all shitcoin.
Yeah,
They are.
You
they're
buy
all-
Monopoly money going, this is worth a lot of money.
We
Well,
should make
they-
a mic coin.
And my
Mike's
my
way.
big problem with the crypto, and I've said it for a long time. Like, remember when I said I like regulation on some things? It
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, like regulating that would make some sense. And I get the whole concept is to not regulate it, but it's
Right.
like if Mike and I trade back and forth something, we can make it drive up. And then Ernest comes in and buys it, and then we rug pull it because it's like we're not thanks.
Yeah.
Loser.
What a loser. I think it would be the other way around, but yeah.
I'm just saying it's just like
Yeah, no,
it just
There's no regulation on
just
that.
just scares the shit out of me, like to actually dump some real money into it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like the
It's like
Dogecoin.
I bought some Dogecoin. I have some shit in you. Like I probably have less than $1,000 worth of a bunch
Yeah.
of those shit coins because I'm like, I buy lotto tickets every now and then too, knowing that like I have a better chance of getting a plane falling out of the sky and hitting me. And so I'm like, there's a better chance of me hitting the lotto on like something like that. But I'm definitely not using that as an investment strategy.
Yeah, I mean, we all gamble, right? Like we play diabetes roulette every single day, basically. It's like,
Well said.
it's like I want this candy, but I can get diabetes. I choose diabetes.
Just Dogecoin. The
Doge.
coin was created to mock cryptocurrency.
Yes.
It's just such a stupid thing. We're going to make Dogecoin. The stupid TV dog laughing at you.
But
And it
you know,
ran.
you know why it's where it is. It's because of Musk.
Yeah.
Musk played along because he had a handful of it, and went onto Twitter or X and started posting and tweeting like Shiba Inus.
It's running.
And
It's gonna go.
everybody's like, "Oh my God, Elon Musk is behind this," and starts trading and holding, and it started driving the price up, and now it's where it's at.
They're plugging rumors that he was going to accept Doge as a form of payment.
I think he does.
Does he know?
I think so. It's on his website.
You got to pay a lot of Doge to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do nothing with Doge.
So, Mike, how do you feel the market is going to
The real estate market, now that the election has been
Decided.
decided.
For now.
For now. I'm just so tired of hearing, I'm going to wait and see if the election happens. Okay, now it's over. Now what are you going to do? So, I mean, the president does not control the market.
I'm gonna wait until January.
Mike, you're going to go into your office and have like 100 apps this morning.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a business meeting and 2 weeks ago they canceled and they said that they're gonna do it after the election. I'm like, okay, I got it.
So what happens? But I mean, I guess people have this idea like, hey, I'm going to wait till the election, and then something magical is going to happen.
No.
It's like the sun's coming out, time to go buy a house, but it's not really the case. I mean, Mike, rates are not reacting.
Rates are-
very fair.
Yeah, we're getting pounded again today, so we're mid sixes, upper sixes again.
Yeah.
Do you think that the current administration, knowing that they have till January to royally fuck shit up, will do that? I mean, the government's on autopilot right now anyway.
I mean, who's even running the government right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither.
I mean, because Joe can't put a sentence together.
Where is
Right.
Joe?
I already told you he's talking to his cat.
Literally.
Or are you sniffing little kids?
Yeah, that's great. I was like, I'm glad that's over with, and then another video comes out of him like putting a whole baby's foot in his mouth.
I saw that was creepy.
Like, what he's
Wait,
chewing, bro.
What?
I'm not doing that again. It's like, oh yeah,
Chris
time to
grabbed
bite
the
your
Joe.
shoulder.
So is that Kamala or Joe Biden?
That was Joe Biden.
Because they both
Yeah, he got a history.
they both put
But
stuff
so
in
do
their
I,
mouth.
so can't judge.
But I mean, that's kind of like the thought process, right? It's like everybody that's said they're going to hold off to buy a home until after the election could have literally just shot themselves in the foot if the current administration just decides to let everything autopilot and tanks go into a great depression, because I think we're already in a depression.
Yeah, but I think it would help you out personally.
Well, here's my
You
opinion.
know what I mean? Because it's like if that happens, then real estate's going to go down, and you buy low. So I mean,
I mean that's the good thing, right? But how many of those people will actually buy even with interest rates, right? Everybody got. If you talk to like 50% of the buyers, they're gonna think the customary is 3 to 4% rates, right? Because
For the last 8-10 years, that's what we've been at.
that's where it's been at, and that's their generation. Like that's where they bought at. That's where they saw their parents buy at, and now it's like they're coming into that. So 3 to 4% was the customary rate. Where like when our parents bought, it was like 12,
Teens,
15,
yeah,
17%.
But
So we're like, oh
prices
hell,
were a
7%. That's
Yeah,
a good deal.
it's like, man, 12% on a freaking $100,000 house is a whole lot different than like 9% on a $550,000. I mean, just
Yeah. No,
it's
yeah.
like cool. You
You're
got to
still
pay,
paying
yeah.
$700,000 in interest.
Yeah.
Both ways.
I don't know.
But isn't that an indicator that the banks aren't willing to take the risk when those rates go up?
No.
No.
No. So, I mean, mortgage rates are set by the bond market,
Right.
Treasury bills. So, I mean, our rates have been going up because the government is printing money like it's going out of style.
Right.
So, therefore, they have to sell more T-bills. T-bills compete with mortgage bonds, supply and demand. So, therefore, rates are not going down. Until we get our fiscal house in line, we still have to keep printing money.
Yeah,
So
they keep-
rates-
and they just keep. It's kind of funny. It's like it's called a ceiling for a reason.
Yeah.
That's
And so
really-
so I'm definitely not a fan of a government shutdown, but I am a fan of like, oh, we got to change something,
Let's change
right? Like
things.
let's cut some fat somewhere because we keep hitting this ceiling, and then we're like, let's just raise it another
It's
trillion.
really not, now it's 10 trillion.
No, I know, but just,
Yeah.
just go up another trillion. It'll be fine. Just like
Well,
we'll just roll it until July.
Well, I mean, and that goes into like giving those people in power the ability to give themselves raises, like determine their compensation. That was Prop C. Prop C allows city council to set wages.
Don't start John that again. Here you go.
Well, but I personally think that like
So if you had
some
an
of the wages.
employee,
But to get a good city manager here in San Antonio, which they do a lot in San Antonio.
do they do
right?
more than the president?
I mean,
You're not becoming a president for the pay.
yeah,
Well, you should have
Like-
become a city manager for the pay either. You
Well,
want to help.
that's not an elected position.
but that's
You're
like,
hired.
Like these guys have MBAs or
Yeah.
MPAs, and they've literally spent years like crafting themselves to being a competent like leader to run stuff like this.
They
And
probably make half
and
a
it-
mil in the private sector anyways.
That's like so a lot of them do, right? And so it's like, okay, cool. Hey, we're gonna make you work like 70, 80 hours a week in some weeks, right? Some weeks I'm pretty sure some of the stuff's on autopilot, but we're gonna make you do a shit ton of stuff, and you're gonna be eating shit sandwiches like I gotta steal from the roads to go do this, and I got and I'm gonna have to play this balancing act. And if you're good at it, you can really make an impact in the city. But we only gonna pay you $250,000. It's like I wouldn't do it. Like
So
I would have a hard time doing it for $500,000 just because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's like they have a lot of responsibility. They're over like the police. They're over
Yeah.
the fire department. They're over like they're
So
fiscally over like all this stuff that they're having to play this.
Yeah.
Like I gotta buy another fire truck. Shit. Like we have to buy it. Like we have to buy it.
Where are you getting the money from?
But I
like-
think Prop C was more about giving city council the power to determine what those wages are versus
But we elect. But here, like we elect our city council members, right?
we don't now because now they got extensions on their terms.
But we still elect them. If we don't like them, we will
Yeah.
eventually get them out. And the thing that sucks is everybody's so, and it bothers me to some extent because everybody's so like, oh, you're gonna vote for Trump or Harris, and you're just like honestly, we really should be paying a whole lot more attention to the off years and what's going on in our city because that directly affects us a whole bunch more. Directly affects our property taxes a bunch
Yeah.
more. Directly affects what's gonna because there's a bunch of different grants and there's I'm not gonna but I'm just saying like we have to compensate a city manager. I wouldn't do it for less than $500,000 because it's so much work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
So you'd make more than the president of the United States, but yeah.
again.
Running
Every,
the state.
every,
I see
every
both
single
sides on it.
so every single one of the presidents
My
of the United
pet peeve
States,
is not with what they make. My pet peeve is giving that control away to allow people in those positions to determine. It's kind of like your HOA board, right? And let's say your employees.
I got
If
one.
you
I
hired
got an
somebody-
elected HOA baby.
Would you walk
but
into
there's-
your office and say, "Hey guys, you all today have the ability to determine y'all's pay because I hired y'all and I put y'all in y'all's position for a reason." You probably wouldn't do that.
Well, first off, I like the elected HOA. There's a problem with it on one hand because I have there's a neighbor that has like several dilapidated cars that are all over the place. And just,
You can't
that
get
looks,
around.
that looks bad, but I also I can do whatever I want. Like
That's
as
what they
far as-
want to do, right?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. Like, hey, go like hopefully you move soon and we can fix that house.
I'm gonna buy your house.
But no, I think yes, I understand like the quandary with that, and it would have been cool if it was a
Word
better.
of the day, folks. Quandary.
It would have been cool if it was a better way to do it, right? If they
Yeah.
were like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and like we're raising the city manager's salary, we're raising like these people's salaries to attract good talent
Right.
for these roles because you got to get good talent.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have a bunch of incompetent people making decent amounts of money. You know, they're
Yeah.
already making a decent amount of money. You're going to have somebody incompetent making that. And you're like, wow, I'd rather have a really good person.
Well,
And so, like same thing with like the police, right? Everybody's like
Yeah.
years ago they were like defund the police. I'm like, no, pay them more. You would get better police officers. Like you would like weed out the shit because like when you're paying these guys $40,000, $50,000 to go risk their lives on a daily basis, like I would never. And I know so many other people would never go do that.
Yeah.
And I understand that there's somewhat of a calling to it, but it's like, man, I would never like.
I just find it super ironic that we were voting on Prop C, which was that, like I said, my pet peeve with Prop C is giving that power to them to determine without any regulation what that compensation looks like. Right? So,
To set up a failure almost.
almost, I mean, yeah, it'd be like, here you go, Gary, go ahead and hire somebody.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you what you can pay them or how much you can pay them, but here, go ahead and hire somebody.
So this is a perfect segue into Gary's 22nd homeschool sesh on the Homes and Homies podcast. Today's word of the day is quandary.
Quandary.
Spelled Quandary. A state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation.
That's quite the name.
Interesting.
I can't believe that
You can't say that. It's
Yeah.
2020.
Quandary.
I think I spazzed on that.
No, but kind of going back to the quandering.
Quandering.
Quandering, whatever you call it. That was my pet peeve with Prop C. The other ironic thing that I found funny is that on the same ballot we're voting for Prop C to give city managers wages or raises and city council the ability to determine what that raise looks like, but we're also now extending terms on the same ballot.
Yeah.
So it's
seems-
almost like it's like they need this to do this, but now we can have a mayor for 8 years versus whatever it was before. I think it was like 2 terms for 2 years, something like that, 4 years. But I don't.
I think Mayor
Or 6
Ron's
years.
done, on an off topic, I think Mayor Ron's done a pretty okay job. I said pretty okay. I didn't say great. I didn't
John's
say good. Pretty okay.
Except for when he try and kick Chick-fil-A out of San Antonio Airport because they're closed on Sundays.
Yeah, but that's just a Democrat.
Eh.
It's just, give and take. Cities developing decently.
But the
Besides
code of
the
the ethics
crime
board
issue.
review, I think all that's necessary. But yeah,
But who
props-
develops the city? Is that the city manager or is that the governor? Or is
It's the mayor.
Is it the mayor or the?
That's what I mean. Like,
City
there's a
manager.
lot of
It's a think tank. Yeah, it's yeah.
That's-
I mean, like we the way our cities designed, the city manager does a lot.
All right,
That's-
look at our mass transit. It stinks badly.
Yeah.
We grew way too fast.
No,
You don't think we did?
We just did poor planning.
We were.
Yeah, like the 281. I swear, like about 2 decades ago, like we're all from here.
So does that fall on the city manager?
But I could just totally. Some of it does, right? Because he oversees all this
Yeah.
stuff, right?
I got a bone to pick with him.
Yeah, but like I could totally see them like just like, hey, here you go, bro. Here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna put turnarounds and stoplights
It's a
on
super
281, and it's gonna be called a super highway, bro. That's gonna fuck everybody
That
up.
was stupid.
I mean, just like, oh, I mean, they finally fixed it. It's really
took
nice
us 10
now.
years to
but-
fix it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it took them.
Well, because they spent the money for it on
My-
something else.
My bone to pick with the city manager is the damn construction. Can't we just finish one project? Like, why do we gotta
Oh,
have
like everywhere?
410 and 35
You know,
for?
you know why they're doing that? Fuck you. That's why.
Well, guess what, bitch? You don't get a fucking pay
No
raise.
matter which way you go, you're sitting in traffic.
I'm gonna run for mayor and I'm gonna stop that damn pay raise.
I'll vote for you.
Cool. I got a cavalry too. Don't you worry.
I'll
take your vote.
I personally
I'll take
think
your-
that it is. I wish they would. I completely agree with you. It's like, dude, finish 1604.
Yeah.
Go work on I-35. Go work on I-10. Just knock this stuff out.
John's gonna vote against you. When you
I vote for John for city manager.
I wouldn't run, or I wouldn't get. Yeah,
I would nominate you.
yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I hate running.
Well, I mean,
well,
for
city
some,
managers are appointed.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. But I
By
have-
city
I-
council.
I have no credentials to do that, and it is a completely different world.
mean, you're
And that's
cool,
why-
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a completely different world. It's completely different philosophy. It's a completely different way to look at budgets. Because it's just they don't.
Yeah.
Like even their accounting, it's just different, right?
Different.
It's a Fugazi accounting. It's like if you try to run a business like that, you freaking go to jail.
Yeah,
But like, I mean, because so there's cash and accrual basis in accounting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can either run your business like cash basis or accrual basis.
right.
And like in most city governments, maybe not all, but ours and most of them, they run this hybrid of
Yeah.
we'll accrue some stuff, we'll just cost some cash and we'll just kind of mix it and go mingle it, and
That's
it'll
okay.
be fine.
It'll be fine.
Oh, and it's public funds on top of it.
Shave a little for me, a little for the city.
No, I mean, I don't think there's that much corruption at it. There is a little bit of waste, but it's just just right there. It's like, okay, I can't wrap my mind around any of this now. Like,
It's just
because
it's
like the problem too is the philosophy for a business is we're driving top line, we're driving bottom line, right? We're trying to drive revenue, and then we're trying to create the highest EBITDA possible. Right.
Did you
That's-
say a bit?
EBITDA.
Earnings before income tax, depreciation, and amortization. Yeah.
Just the title guy.
Yeah.
EBITDA.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
Mike-
That's
Mike-
that's a finance.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a
Yeah.
baby's first word.
Mike knew it.
You get EBITDA.
But that's what we're trying to do
Yeah.
in business, and then you go over here, and the whole philosophy in like the public
Spend it all.
is we want to maximize service, and so you want to maximize budgets, right? You want to, and you're just like, but that's not necessarily a good thing, because it's like all the revenues come from the citizens, right?
Right.
And so it just in my head, I'm like, I can't.
You know,
correlate that.
Didn't Dak Prescott hurt his EBITDA this past
Is it?
season? He's on IR.
He hurt his mangina.
Dude, you
He's
ever
been
heard the
born
term
with
EBITDA?
immature
I've seen it.
EBITDA.
Okay, yeah.
Six.
I have a hat with.
It's just not one of those things where I
Hey,
was like,
uh,
oh, I want to learn that.
I think as soon as Dak Prescott
Probably
went out too, the Cowboys almost came back and won.
Yeah,
Super rush, man.
Well,
because-
since we're doing a podcast, it's supposed to be somewhat educational. So on a financial statement, you'll have top line, which is revenue.
That's
right?
your
And then-
sales. That's
Yeah,
what you
and then like if you're a manufacturing company, then it's like cost of goods sold, and there's a bunch of line items of expenses, and then you get down to a line where it's like basically your earnings before income tax, depreciation, amortization, right?
We're
That's the
getting hacked
status of my brain.
We're getting hacked right now, dude.
That's my brain.
Yeah.
I'm connected. I'm mirroring my brain on the television.
but so
That's your EBITDA.
so that and then you have your net profit or net loss right here, right? And so, but that line right there, you're trying to drive that line, and then you have, if you do a bunch of stuff, you can still keep monies, right? Like because you amortize and you've depreciated a bunch of stuff, and you always have to pay taxes. So it's like taxes are taxes, but you're trying to maximize that number right there before the income tax, depreciation, amortization, right? And that's
So what you're saying is that the EBITDA is right next to the jejunum
And then go on.
in this area. It's a vital body part.
Which is like the medulla oblongata.
Yeah.
And you're still under.
John's like, I want to be paid.
I'm sorry I
Everybody.
fucking brought it up, bro. Like, I kind of spazzed again.
That's good finance. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it. You set my brain into a whirlwind.
So Gary, now you know how to run your business.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You need that.
EBITDA.
Mark up your products
to EBITDA.
to EBITDAs.
I fucking hate you guys.
What else? We got?
Football.
My favorite topic. Jameis Winston came back down to earth.
You cheated on me because you playing that damn foosball, Bobby.
I won all 3 of my fantasy leagues on flukes. It was so weird this past weekend.
I got demolished.
Man, my entire roster was on the bench. Like, of all my A players, I waiver
Bye
wired.
weeks.
I some of them bye weeks, but DK Metcalf,
Yeah.
he was out. T Higgins was out. Like just a bunch of who else was out? I mean, Christian McCaffrey still that is the biggest fugazi in fantasy football this year. They should have been like, hey, he's going to be out for,
I'm not so sure
3
about
months.
Amon St. Brown. Amon Ross St. Brown. He's just not done jack this year.
Yeah, I have him on one of
It's
my
had a couple
leagues.
good games. Just a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Yeah,
I mean, last year he was putting up 40 points every.
That offense is so high powered though.
He's got such a small slice of pie now.
I know. Well, it's just they have so many weapons everywhere. Like it's just like, oh, like let's hand it off or toss it to Montgomery. Let's toss it to. I mean, they
Khalif Raymond running back kicks. Jameson Williams is a physical specimen. It's just, why is that funny?
no joke. The Lions like so.
They're
the
going
Lions-
all the
Such a
way.
fantastic.
If the Lions don't hurt themselves, like they are looking like the team in the NFL right
I agree.
now. I mean, it's just like they're just.
They beat the Packers. I'm just pleased.
They upgraded.
Oh,
on
they didn't
the
just beat the
defense as well.
Packers. They
spanked them.
cheese
They're
graded
demolishing.
the Packers.
They're demolishing everybody.
Yeah.
They're not just winning.
So, what do you think of the Kansas City Tampa Bay game?
I thought
Worth watching.
so. Honestly, Mahomes is a winner, man. Like every time I watch him, even if he's not playing good, it's like he
finds a
wins.
way to win.
He wins.
As soon
It's
as
like,
Baker lost the overtime toss, you can look back. He just fuck. Like he just knows that Mahomes is not scoring.
yeah.
He's like, well, that was
And-
fun.
Well, the
Big-
crazy part about that, though, too, is in that fourth quarter with like 30 seconds left, Mahomes almost threw 2 picks.
Almost.
It hit the dude in the chest. He should have caught it. I think the NFL is a little.
Oh, they're
I think
defensive backs for a reason.
I think he didn't catch it for a reason. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going down that rabbit hole with that, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's fun to watch.
oh, he's wrong.
And
Texas Tech
and
versus.
what I
OU.
hate OU,
Yeah.
but I don't hate Baker Mayfield, but OU is awful. For all you Oklahoma fans out there.
we got a lot of Okies watching. You better watch out.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm just joking.
John's last video just hit 10K. You better watch out.
maybe edit the.
No,
maybe
leave it.
I'm
When
gonna
we
put a
start
Trump-
getting
I'm gonna
death
put a
threats, I
Trump
know
head
we
over
made
that
it.
finger.
But he's having one of the best seasons
Yeah.
like he's ever had.
What's Tampa Bay anyway? They're like 4-3.
Let's find out.
Something like that. But it's not just that. He's literally he lost Mike Evans, he lost Godwin, and he's throwing to just second, third,
Yeah.
string receivers, and he's slinging it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got a tight end. All right, here you go, Otten.
Otten's good too.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for him to.
Tampa
perform.
Bay is 4-5.
4-5 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were 4-4.
Yeah,
Four,
but
four.
he is doing.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing. Yeah.
That Seattle Giants game, I think it was Giants Seattle, and
Dude, that's a brutal game.
that game was one-handed catch in the end zone to win.
That
the
was an
game.
amazing catch.
And then you had what it was the Giants running back doing the jumping backwards, hurdling people.
He is now playing for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Is he really? You got traded.
Saquon Barkley was-
They're like, you jump backwards, we're trading your ass.
He did that on the Eagles.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, it was the Eagles. You're right. Sorry.
We
Yeah.
I trust
Fight,
every-
Eagles,
I,
fight.
So
I
I'm
know
not gonna lie.
this 'cause I
I
trust-
usually don't like Philadelphia, but thanks Philadelphia and Pennsylvania for what you did last
Whenever
night.
Ernest talks, I trust everything he says until we get to the football section.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You playing foosball?
he's like Troy Aikman's so good.
Sure. That Tom Landry and Roger Staubach.
That London
silly
team
fellas.
is real good.
Did you hear they're trading Emmitt Smith?
I haven't heard anything about Tony Romo lately.
Bring him back.
That shows you how much I
Dude,
watch football.
I
Tom
tell you-
Brady
I have
actually
been watching.
criticized-
To my defense, guys, I've been watching more football. I turned on the TV, got YouTube TV, and I've been watching football.
Yeah.
But I've been watching college football.
So, Ernest, I honestly think you should play fantasy one of these years.
Why? You just want to take my money here? Let me just grab my wallet.
That's why I play poker.
Dude, I'll lend you, and I'll buy your $100 buy-in. Actually, no, you need to do it because it'll be more fun.
I need you to lose your money.
Well, you just need to do. I mean, it's $100.
If I play fantasy
$100
football,
or $150 for a whole season.
you got to let me take you to an Austin FC soccer game.
Those are fun.
That's a deal.
Okay, yeah.
I went to San Antonio.
Like,
FC. Sat in a suite, man. It was great.
The sweet.
Great time.
any live sporting event.
Gary's like, this
even
food is
soccer,
excellent.
It was all right.
Yeah, but yeah, you need, like once you do that, you literally will start like, I know everyone in the NFL
Yeah.
now because I need to know them. Like,
It's like trading cards all over again.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in it. I'd rather learn some code.
Nerd.
I'm a nerd for life.
Computer sim.
I'd rather sell a house, you know.
Okay. Weird flex, but
Just sold my whole neighborhood.
I'm saying, like, you could talk to a bunch of people about football.
It's true.
What's fun about that?
Good,
It's a good icebreaker.
conversation, yeah.
Super good icebreaker. Like, dude, I can talk to football to a complete stranger for about 45 minutes.
For sure.
Like,
So
especially,
let's
like,
see.
all I have to do is like look at the hat they're wearing.
When was the
There we
last
go.
time?
So you're a Texans fan, huh?
Yeah.
Man, CJ Stroud.
It's
What?
quality.
Can you believe Diggs is out?
Nico
Oh my
Collins.
God!
Hey Mike, what's going on with your Bears though, dude? You got players walking off the field
Dude.
mid-play, like.
How about
That's a dumpster fire.
No, that was the Bears.
But your Bears,
Who walked off the
your
field?
Bears are like incrementally looking better. I feel like they're like this is not their year. But
So
like,
I mean, they're looking better, but the division is so flippin' stout.
mhm.
I mean, they're not going to beat Detroit.
So they had I forget the guy's name. Number 2. I know his number.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
He's
yeah.
like he's done.
He ran
He checked out.
He ran an out route and
Just
Williams
went out.
Williams could have hit him on the run, like wide open. Just completely looked at him, decided to scramble, run across the field, and Moore just ran to the bin.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Was it third down or?
I mean, they imploded last week. I mean,
Really?
they scored
It
9
was
points.
not pretty.
I mean, poor Williams. I mean, he was blitzed and sacked. He was running for his life the whole game.
A million times.
Same problems, no O-line.
Well, I'm excited about Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I've been saying that a couple weeks ago.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy. That guy is a winner. Like he might not be as athletic as a Patrick Mahomes, but he's a winner.
5-1 as a starter.
5-1 as a starter, and like even when he comes in with the turd sandwich that he had the other day, I mean they only lost by 7.
I feel like,
Like-
we've seen this episode though. Dak goes out, Cooper Rush comes in, gets him to the playoffs.
Dak
Or
comes
to
back.
almost making the wild card. Dak comes back
Yeah,
and
it's-
the
it's-
season's over.
It's going to be a very uphill battle. Like so, they got the Eagles this weekend, which
Loss.
the Eagles are firing on all cylinders right now, and then it's just going to be so far. Like I mean, they're what?
They're
Huge
third.
Three-
They're
three
third
and
in their
five.
division, right?
Yeah,
Dallas.
wait, like so
They're 2 games behind.
Dallas is 3-5. They're
yeah,
done.
they're 3.
They're going to
games
be
behind.
3-6 after this weekend.
Yeah.
They're done.
I mean, it's super hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
But if anybody can do it, it's Cooper Rush.
It's true.
Like, because even when he performed poorly in that Eagles game, what was it last year or 2 years ago?
I don't know. I like
Wait.
watching Dallas lose.
Yeah,
It's 2 years ago. When Dak was
It
hurt.
brings me
yeah, when
joy.
that was hurt. And so, no,
It could have been last
it
year.
was last year, yeah. No, it was 2 years ago. You're right. It was 2 years ago. Because I went to the second Eagles game.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was really cool. Because we
Games
won.
are fun.
And well, but the only thing that sucked was Jalen Hurts wasn't in and Minshew was in, and so it was like
That was 2
kind of
years
like-
ago.
it
Because
was
he
like
was
a-
my quarterback, and they benched him. Like,
It
come
was
on!
like a tainted win a little bit, but it still was so juicy because it's on Christmas Eve and I was at the game and I'm like, there we go.
Well, it is Dallas, so they find ways to fuck it up anyway. So
Anyways, even though he did not do that well, the Eagles were on a tear at that moment. They had a bunch of momentum and they were
They were hot.
firing on all
Yeah.
cylinders, and he still got back and did a touchdown in the third quarter.
right.
And I'm like, Dak does not do that. Like, Dak gets behind and he's like,
Interception. Pick
Yeah.
6.
It panics.
yeah, and it's like, I'm going to throw the long ball to the other team.
They'd be better off
That's a
running
punt.
running no huddle when Dak's in urgent mode.
Yeah, and I don't know, it just,
But like I said,
he's
Dallas,
probably a great guy, though.
Dallas always finds a way to fuck it up. Why'd they let Tony Romo hold the snap on a field goal?
Great hips.
Yeah.
Dak has great hips.
John's like that hits the sound.
Solid
I know,
hip
it's like,
guy.
you dang
It-
Seattle.
it's all right.
Dang Seattle boy.
The Saints, bro.
I want to see Minshew be great. Minshew's probably one of my low-key favorite players. His sound bites are
It's okay.
He's another one.
Dallas
He's
is
a
doing
no
better than
joke.
the Saints.
Cooper Rush is
Saints started
possibly
hot. Man,
my
the Saints started
favorite.
good.
Then
My
we
favorite
succumbed
NFL
to
quarterbacks.
injuries.
Yeah.
We got a rookie quarterback in,
The 2-7
He's
Saints.
got the best win percentage.
and we just lost to Carolina by 1.
Carolina.
That's brutal.
Yeah, dude, the Saints were
They were the first 2 weeks.
so looking good.
I know.
And then just completely
Fell
disintegrated.
apart.
Yeah.
Destroyed. I mean, at least we demolished the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was demolished too.
That was
bad.
But if the Saints played the Cowboys tomorrow, I think it would be a
Very
lot,
boring game.
yeah, a lot different. It'd be like 7. It'd be 1-1.
7. It would be a very boring game.
Like watching
We'd have
State
1
versus
field
Texas
goal
State.
and 1
Yeah,
safety.
it'd be 1 to 1.5, and I'm not calling who's who.
Dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where do you see how do you see the Cowboys ending the season then?
Not good.
In shame.
You think
Not good.
Cooper Rush?
And I feel like I feel like having Cooper Rush in there. I feel like he's going to win 1 or 2 of these games coming up.
Yeah,
Because I think Dak's out for at least 3 weeks.
several weeks.
IR, so 4 weeks.
Yeah, so he's out for 4 weeks. So perfect. Like, I mean, I feel like
Perfect.
I feel like-
Give him 2 weeks to come back and
Well,
fuck shit up.
but
He'll
they,
make it in time to lose the wild card.
yeah, but they don't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Yeah, but I do feel like Cooper Rush is going to win the next couple games. I don't think it's going to be pretty because the team sucks. Like, I mean, they don't suck, but they're missing so many pieces
Yeah.
right now. And then they also are missing some dang good defensive players too.
Who did they Cowboys just pick up? They picked up somebody.
Jonathan Mingo from the
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be good.
Yeah, no, he was a good prospect.
So might be a good fit.
Yeah.
But
But they have the best
so as a
running
Cowboys fan,
backs from 2017.
as a Cowboys fan, what would you like to see Jerry Jones do for next season? Die.
Sell the team.
Just so we know, Gary said that.
Yeah.
What?
Say what?
I mean, what would I like to see him do?
I mean, do you want to see Dak get traded? Do you want to see like a
Well-
gutting of the team and just go through the brown bag years for the next couple seasons? I mean, you're already there basically.
I mean,
You could already.
I feel like this the single most silly thing because I'm really not that mad about the CD Lamb contract. I mean,
He's a great receiver.
he is-
He's a great
That was a brilliant choice. Good
Yeah.
job, Jerry.
I'm not mad about that, but what a couch,
Armchair quarterback.
armchair quarter but for life of me I don't get why you give Dak that deal.
Yeah.
Like he's getting older.
Again, you can thank the Browns, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I get that to one extent. But it's also like I'd be like, hey, you haven't done anything. Like let's do a Lamar Jackson. Like finish out this season. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I probably would have let Dak go. I think Jerry is still traumatized from that long era of not having a quarterback from Troy to Tony Romo. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was what, like 10 years?
Yeah, it was a long span. So
Yeah.
I think
It was brutal too.
Troy Aikman retired in
Who was the quarterback?
01 or 02.
Exactly.
You see him every football night and he was head coach for the Dallas Cowboys for a little while, and then he went to the Giants.
Yeah, he's talking about.
I gotcha. You don't know. I don't know.
I have his face in my head, and I hate him. So
Didn't they have Andy Dalton for a little bit too?
Everybody's had a piece of it.
it's like
The red.
I mean, name what team hasn't had Andy Dalton. So Andy Dalton filled in for Dak when he had that awful ankle.
He's such a whore.
I mean-
screen door in a hurry.
Dude, he's a decent quarterback.
What
Yeah,
if
he is.
Tom Brady comes out of retirement to play for the Dallas Cowboys?
Bro, Andy Dalton came and played for the Panthers this year and threw for like 1,000,000 yards
Yeah.
and then sprained his toenail and now he's out for fucking IR. Bryce Young came back in. It's just-
That sounds like very Andy Dalton of him.
God, it's
Now
crazy.
that was pretty bad when Dak was out that season with
Yeah.
the ankle, and then Andy Dalton played, and then he got that concussion in that Giants game. That was dicey because they literally had nobody to. The third string quarterback or whatever was pretty bad. Like there was
Sitting in the kicker.
There was 2 or 3 games where you're just like, oh man, this is not
So
good.
you think Jerry's drowning his like that insecurity of not having those quarterbacks throughout.
Yeah,
the
but it
season.
doesn't make
Because if he gets rid of Dak, who does he get? Right? Like,
There's options out there.
man, like so you can literally get any decent quarterback to do what Dak's doing this season, right?
right.
Like I mean, at one
I mean,
point,
Cooper
at
Rush
one
does a
point,
better job.
I personally feel that way.
Yeah.
But at one point, Dak was very mobile, and he was a little more accurate. Now it's like you're not even getting somebody that's accurate, and there's zero mobility. I mean,
Yeah.
like he ran one play, and he's like, "Oh yeah, put me on the IR, coach."
I feel like I'm watching the uncle from Napoleon Dynamite when I'm watching the Cowboys game. What's his name? You remember Uncle Chip?
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Dak, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. You're a great guy.
Dak and Uncle Rico.
Yeah. And again, he's not an awful quarterback.
No, he's not.
He's not an awful quarterback. He's not a $60 million a year quarterback, though. And that's
He
that's
would be if he had a running back.
So
But they have no line.
yeah, but Brock Purdy gets paid $985,000 a year. He's beat him 3 times. Dak Prescott makes that per quarter. Like I mean,
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa. like Brock Purdy was picked last.
He was last.
in the NFL draft.
And he puts a lot of quarterbacks to shame.
And
Or a lot of teams.
well, he's not having a great year either.
It's a system, though.
But I'm saying that, like, if you put enough good pieces around somebody that's, because, and again, I'm not talking shit about Brock Purdy, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not a.
He's an average
He's not a
quarterback.
Joe Burrow, right?
Right.
He's not a Patrick Mahomes.
He's not a Josh Allen.
As far as arm
He's
talent,
not a specimen.
Yeah.
but he has football IQ, and he
He
plays
does.
the system perfectly.
Yeah, but
That's half the battle.
I know, but I'm all I'm saying is he's not a Josh like Josh Allen has he is.
That's
He's
bad.
probably Superman with a 3-year-old brain. Like I've never seen anything like it. He's literally like he is possibly the best athlete that's ever played quarterback. And he's like, me throw here right now, no reason. me run him over.
They ask him what goes through his head before he throws the ball. He goes, I don't know, I just close my eyes and throw it.
Good.
I mean, his decision making is very questionable.
Yeah.
Like every time I watch the Bills, I'm like, dude, he's a beast. Like one play, I'm like, man, that guy is.
That's amazing.
Like he just jumped 5 feet in the air and like ran over that other dude. That other dude's like 250. And then the next play, he's like, I'm gonna run through that line. I'm gonna hit all of them.
Everybody dies.
and then I forgot what game I was watching, but I watched him like getting chased out, and all he had to do was just throw it away.
Yeah.
I just throw it away. He's like, no. Let me throw it across the field as I'm running this way.
In the triple coverage.
Yeah, and it's like, God.
I could have made that.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you're superhuman, but you're not that good.
He's a WWTD kind of guy.
WWT.
He's what would Trump do?
And on that note, guys, I got a hard stop.
All right. Wait, don't say it yet.
What?
Happy birthday to my wife.
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Gina.
Miss
Happy
Litwin.
birthday, Gina.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday,
Gina
Gina.
Litwin.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
And many more.
All right, hit it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for all the pastries. I've gained a little weight. Something I needed to do.